work out how to get your comments. So if somebody can leave me a comment, I will be able to track any conversation. I think it's going to pop up now. Awesome. I am going to go quickly through our new ebook launching tomorrow, The Scoop, our ice cream ebook, because I just want to have access to a small video that anyone can watch on playback and actually see what it's about. So I'm going to go through pretty quickly to get as much information into a short amount of space of time so that you can actually learn a little bit more about it if you want. And if you've got any questions, please just pop them in the comments thread. So The Scoop, I don't have a picture of it or anything, I've got indexes and stuff, is our ice cream ebook. It's only available in ebook, it's not in hard copy. It is written in a format for our Thermix users that love to use their thermies, as well as conventional methods. The conventional method for the basic recipe in every one of them is using all the recipes are basically a pint size recipe, albeit but three, so three are actually like 2 pints, but all the others are all like a pint size ice cream that can be made in the very popular Ninja Creamies at the moment, and that is what I've done for the steps for the conventional method. However, there is more information in the book as well, but you can use this in your favorite ice cream makers if they are suited for a 1 pint. If they're not, you can increase the volume by 1.5, 2 times whatever that you actually need in regards to the size of your ice cream maker and what the recommendations are there. So I've listed some of them in the book and how you can easily change the recipes to suit your ice cream maker. But we can't possibly write a book that is going to be for everyone's gadget. Okay, so just so that you know that these are ones that are only like pint size, so that's roughly around about 560 to 570 mils for metric measurements, a couple of cups, and it is very easy to convert any of them. And being an ebook, you could print off the recipe if you wanted to and just mark it down what the changes are. Okay, so what is in it? I'm going to go through it in blocks of just some basic information so you can follow along. So all up there is actually 158 recipes in this ebook. There is 48 step-by-step base recipes that I'm basically saying that are where if you've got my books before, you'll get a recipe and an image on the side. So there's 48 of those. Then we've actually done some, we've attached a modifier to some of the recipes. So where in the notes I'd usually obvious suggestions, we've actually added some a lot more involved suggestions. So like I'm calling it the hidden menu, and I've put it actually at the back of the book. Savor is actually a throwback to one of my original books and that as well too, but it's Savor the Hidden Menu. So let's just say, for instance, in the smoothie bowl, you've got a frozen smoothie bowl bark and you've got a green peanut butter smoothie. So I'm actually giving you a type of recipe and then actually the steps to make it using the recipe for those ones. Then we've also got another one we've called that's actually the wrong page. This one's actually called Flavor, and it's called Creamiology, and it is where you'll basically take a vanilla ice cream or a chocolate ice cream and you can change it very simply with these few changes that we've added. And we've added the measures and stuff like that. So it's just basically a modifier, because we all know if we're making, let's just say a creamy pasta and you're going to make an Alfredo sauce and you want to make it a boschiella sauce, you're going to add bacon and mushrooms. It becomes a completely different recipe, right? But it doesn't take rocket science to work out, cook bacon, onion, and mushroom and chuck it in the same sauce, and then you've got a whole different pasta sauce. So that's what we've done with this, but we've given you the keys to that in very simple format so that you can actually get a lot more out of this book. I haven't added that in the price tag for this book as well. We've kept it very low. So the recommended retail price is $37.95. It will go live at $29.95. That's Australian dollars. So please don't tell me that it's showing one price and another. We've gone through this plenty of times before. Our site is global. If your device doesn't show your location, it may show in USD. If you're in USD, well, then I will show you in USD. But if you're an Australian and it's showing some other weird price, that's USD, or it might show you without GST. But as our site is set standard, if you actually have your location showing, or you put your location in, it will show you Australian dollars and with GST if you're an Aussie. But of course, we have Kiwis that buy in AUD and they don't pay the GST. And we have the USD, the US dollars for the rest of the world. So yeah, that is the price tag. So we've put so much more into this book without adding that to the cost. This was supposed to be a very small project for me, and it has put me way behind on something else that I was working on. But I'm really proud of the book that we've created. It is really jam-packed full of amazing recipes, and aside from the ice cream recipes, in there we've also added some amazing, and I mean like truly amazing, fudge sauces. If you liked the Macca's hot caramel fudge sauce, then I have one that behaves exactly the same when you put it on cold ice cream. It has that same texture. It is beautiful in shakes and stuff like that as well too. You can make it in bulk, and you can just heat up the 1 teaspoon or 2 teaspoons that you need to pour hot over your ice cream in 10 to 15 seconds in the microwave, or do it, you know, over a double boiler or something like that if you don't have a microwave. But really, really easy to make, and they're just so damn good. There's even a licorice one as well. We've done a berry one with fresh berries, but you could use frozen berries in that as well, so like a blackberry caramel sauce or toffee sauce, and they're just really, really incredible. So very, very proud of those sauces and that as well too. So we're trying to add in a few extra things. You may see some imagery that has ice cream cones and things like that in it. I don't have an ice cream cone recipe in the book. They are ones that contain gluten. The book itself has no gluten in it, but I use those purely for props rather than use a bowl. That's all. Some of you will actually make these recipes and you will serve them in cones, or you'll make your own. You can use our tortilla recipe and make that into a cone. You can use our cookie recipes and sandwich it between cookies. You can see that I've actually piped them into little cups and that as well too, like the little takeaway cups and things like that. I just buy them off Temu, buy them a pack of 10 or off Amazon, put it into a piping bag, pipe it out, because they're beautiful soft serve ice creams and that as well too. Some of them are. So yeah, I've used a little bit of creative liberty, I would say, to put together a visually stunning book as well. I didn't want to give you a book of, you know, 50 flavors inside a Ninja Creamy pint cup, because that just looks like crap and doesn't make me want to make anything there. So I am somebody who eats with my eyes first, and that is why it is always important to me to make recipes that look really good. Okay, so all up, 158 recipes in total, 48 step-by-steps. The other ones are just with those modifiers added so that it's easy to change any of the recipes. And with those modifiers, like I said, it could pertain to any of the ice creams. So it's not saying that you actually have to do one with dairy. You can do it with the dairy-free. I've attached in the product description, which is not live in our store yet because the product will go live tomorrow at 5 a.m. But I've attached 2 sheets into the images, which I've got here. These aren't in the book, but they are dietary, so they actually show what's dairy-free, egg-free, nut-free, vegan, vegetarian, and some that are Fed Up compliant for our Fed Up fast bands. That's a tongue twister. And I had a quick look because we get so many people asking about dairy-free. There is 30 recipes that are either written as dairy-free or have a dairy-free option. So a dairy-free option may include using any of your favorite plant-based milks or any of your favorite milks. If I haven't listed one there, you can use it, okay? So if I've written coconut milk and you want to use macadamia, unsweetened macadamia milk, use that. And somebody asked about raw eggs the other day. I have a couple of ones in there that might have a raw egg in it, but you can heat a custard for ice cream anyway. There is hot and cold ice cream mixes as well, so some that you cook, some that you don't. You can choose not to cook them if you don't want to. You can just throw them together into the pots and mix them later. That's totally up to you. So the book itself, as usual, we do write with very clear fonts. While there's pink pages on the other ones, all the other pages are white background. Clear fonts. We have US and metric measures, so no matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to make the recipes. We don't, I had a word in my head, but it's gone anyway. But I try and make sure that everybody's getting a happy choice. And we've used easy ingredients. Nothing is brand specific. So people are asking me if they don't use amino Z protein powders, which I use personally. You can use whatever brand you like. All that I recommend is that you actually look at the ingredients that are in them. I Love Amino's a Aussie brand. I'm an Aussie, just listen to me. But they use all natural ingredients in there. So, and I know that it always works. So that is completely up to you. Their price point is really good, but you can use your favorite brand. So nothing is brand specific. Then also in the recipes, we have, like I said, the 48 recipes, step by step. So very clear steps, and they're all numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. Probably 6 is the maximum amount of steps for any one of them. And then we have it clear for conventional, and then one for thermal methods. So if you don't have a Thermomix, you don't need to have a Thermomix to do my books. They always include a conventional method first. Other than say my first 2 books, every other book since 2017 has included conventional as a main format of doing it, and then Thermomix methods wherever suitable. So some of them might actually have there's 2 recipes I think that don't have a Thermomix method, but that's only because they're saying pick your choice of vanilla ice cream. And that was one of the things I was getting at before. If you want to make the caramel ripple and you want to make it dairy free, you can make it with a dairy free choice of ice cream. Well, I've done it with the Oh My God vanilla ice cream. You can do it with the dairy free ice cream, and you can do it with the dairy free caramel. Okay, so very, very easy to convert these because the simple changes are written in the book for you. We have an extensive amount of notes in there. In the notes, I didn't write anything down of what I put in them, but I know it's basically ingredients and ingredient swaps. We have the mixing and churning to check your manufacturer's recommendations if you're not using either of the churning methods that are above. And let me just touch on the Thermomix methods. We've written the Thermomix method in there for you too, so you can actually make a scoopable ice cream straight from your Thermomix as well. But yeah, if you don't have those, it's giving you this look back at these pages or look at your manufacturer's recommendations to make these ice creams in there. And a lot of those modifiers and flavors and that can be used with one that can actually suit your particular machine as well. So if you can't do a low calorie, low fat ice cream, because we've got recipes that are like that in your ice cream maker, you can use like my fat butter recipe, my fat butter vanilla, or my fed up vanilla. Both of them, hands down, I think are 2 of the best ice creams you'll ever taste. There's nothing in the supermarkets, nothing anywhere that I've ever tasted that's even close to as good as these ice creams. That's a bit cool, hey, but yeah, I actually think I do have really good ice cream recipes. Also on the pages of all of those recipes, we have all the macros and that for you, so you'll be able to see how many calories are. The average calorie is like roughly around about 300 calories per serve. Carbs, most of them are around that 2 to 3 carbs or less, but there was a couple that got a little bit higher, but I've given you ways to make them lower as well. And I think the highest one was like say 7, but that is where we're getting creative with the Mad Max bars and stuff like that. So you can reduce the size if you don't want to go that high. The recipes include yogurt, sorbets, smoothie bowls, ice creams, gelato, lots of different kinds. We also have, as I said, the fudge sauces, which are amazing. Hands down, you've got to make them. And if you don't start seeing me making more different ones and just telling you how to change any of those base recipes into something else that I make, then you'll be surprised, because I'm sure I'm going to come up with lots of ones. Come Christmas, we're going to have like peppermint creams and stuff like that for sure. Okay, so I've gone through all the nutritional substitutes and stuff like that. Ice cream types, so as I've already mentioned, all the recipes are roughly around about pint size. I've done 3 recipes that are 2 pints, and that is because to halve anything that was in these recipes that I've created, I felt reduce the quality of the ice cream, but also their base recipe. So it's not like you're going to make 2 pints of chili chocolate ice cream. You're going to make 2 pints of vanilla, but then you can actually use one of those pints if you're using your Thermi or using your creamy or pint size ice cream maker, because there's quite a few different ones on the market. You can add one of the modifiers and actually change that vanilla into something completely different. So let's just say I'm going to go on here. You could also set them as custard if they're a cooked one, but I might make vanilla ice cream cake pop balls out of the other one, or I might make an Indian kulfi, or I might make a vanilla ice cream waffle stack with some, or I might like shape some in a log and then slice them off and make cookie sandwiches and stuff like that. So there's lots of different ways that you can actually use those base recipes, and that's why they were a bit bigger. Some are cooked and some are uncooked, which I said. We've got low fat, we've got low calorie, we've got high fat, we've got high protein. We've included in the protein options whey protein isolate and casein protein. The casein protein is really good. It actually reduces the ice crystals in your ice creams, makes them really soft, adds 30 grams of protein per scoop, and the mouthfeel is really creamy and really delicious. So the casein is actually made from the milk solids in the separation process when they're actually taking the whey out for the whey protein. So it makes it nice and white, and yeah, it's just really nice in the ice cream. So thanks, Kiara, for putting me onto that. And we've got vegan protein in that as well too, because you can still use your vegan proteins in your egg white protein and stuff like that in it as well. You can use collagen for not vegan. You can use collagen for dairy free as well. So again, I've got recommendations on things like that. I've even done ones where I actually use the flavored collagen co. Not that you have to do it that way, I just did it that way. But I've used the flavored collagen co's in some of the ice creams just to see how they'd flavor it up, and they were amazing, even in like ones that I've made that are completely dairy free. The ingredients, so we've also included about 20 plus pages, 30 plus pages of information on ingredients and breaking down the ingredients and how ice cream is made and troubleshooting ice cream and all that sort of stuff. So one of the questions I had about, and I've had a couple of people ask, is about 100% monk fruit. You're going to have to experiment with these yourself. I have used, if you're going to use a protein powder, so if you're using one of the Amino Z, whey protein or casein, they use thaumatin, which is a natural sweetener, where monk fruit's 200 or 300 times sugar. Thaumatin, I think, is around 3,000 times sugar sweetness. So it's only a small amount, and I'm somebody who's really picky, and I'm sure everybody's had experiences with flavored proteins or whatever before where you taste them and some of them are like so sweet they're just disgusting and you can't drink them or have them. I don't. I'm not an over flavored kind of person in that way. But the thaumatin in that is really good. So I've actually made ice creams where I don't stick sweetener in it. I haven't included them in the book because the overall texture and that, and I don't want people complaining, my ice cream's hard or whatever. The sugars that I use, xylitol or allulose, is what I recommend because they actually do soften the ice cream, give you a better mouthfeel, give you a better texture, all of those things. But if you're going to be using, say, things like 100% monk fruit, and when we're talking monk fruit, we're not talking monk fruit erythritol bonded or combined. We're talking the pure product or something like thaumatin, etc. You're going to have to experiment with them. If you're happy with ice creams that are low in sugar, low in sweetness, and you're using a creamy, like I actually find that you could mix anything. I mean, I mix sorbet in it, I mean, that still has a sweetener in it, but you know what I mean? And it might be crunchy, but you love it. So that is where it's really up to you. And same with the sweetener levels. You can actually drop them or you can increase them according to you, but always be careful with increasing any sweeteners like allulose or xylitol or even erythritol, because it actually can make your ice cream into a slurry, so it can go the opposite way. But yeah, that is something where you're going to have to experiment. We do have some details about all the different sweeteners in the book and that as well. And we have things like stabilizers, emulsifiers. So if you're making an ice cream and you find yours is frozen particularly hard because you've used a powdered erythritol over an allulose, I even have ways that you could problem solve for the next batch, or you could even actually liquefy your current one, pop it into a saucepan, heat it up, and add a stabilizer like xanthan gum, glycerol, vodka, whatever, to soften it if that's something that's really important to you. Or if you've got a thing like a blender or hand churning and stuff like that, that you've got a quick blender, a Thermomix, or a creamy, then it's as simple as just remixing and making it nice and creamy and yummy. Because like even the ones that I found that are like a really dairy free and stuff like that, where let's face it, like coconut milk is like a lot of water, or almond milk's more like water than coconut milk. Kind of separates, doesn't it? So I find that they're creamy when I mix them. It's like I still enjoy it that way. So that will be totally up to you, but we've given you the information that you can actually use to create your favorite ice creams, and you can refer back to it. So like, let's just say if you make one, you're like, I didn't like this about it, you can look back at those pages, and I've put the refer link, because they've all got jump to links for all the book as well. So, and I'll jump back to those pages when you're on your app. and you can actually see ways that you might be able to better the emulsification of the ice cream, etc. So we've tried to give you as many tools and not to say this is the way it is and you don't like it, tough luck. So yeah, and I've got the troubleshooting section there and that as well too. If there's something that you don't understand yourself when you made your ice cream, I actually suggest just Google it. My ice cream is hard, what can I do to soften it, etc. We don't have time to answer everyone's questions, and I'm not in the kitchen with you, so I can't actually see what you did if you've got an ice cream that turned out and it went black, unless it's got the licorice fudge in it. I don't know how it went black. Do you know what I mean? So I can't answer everybody's questions, and I don't actually have the time to answer as many questions as I'd like to. But Google is really good if you need help in that way as well. At the end of the day, we're making small batch ice cream, so it's really not that hard to get through a small amount, a couple of cups of ice cream anyway, or remix it and just eat it nice and soft serve. And you can use the recipes as a guide and customize them to suit you better. I will go through a little bit through the recipes, but I think that's all I had. So use this video for any information. If there's anything that you need, I'll have a quick look and see if there's any questions. Read the product description, indexes and dietary for more info. So when you go to buy, if you've got particular questions about the book, tagging me tomorrow when we are going to be absolutely flat out, and I'm going to be up before 5 a.m. before the launch and stuff like that. I'm probably not going to see your questions, so just read the product description. I do try and put as much into the product descriptions as I can. We have the indexes, so you'll actually have 3 indexes showing you the main index, the hidden menu, and the criminology ones with the easy modifiers. You'll have the dietary guides to actually look. So if somebody asks me if there's any dairy free, I'm just going to say read this. I'm not going to count them up, but like I said, I'm pretty sure that there's like about 30 recipes there that are dairy free, plus all the modifiers, and that can all be done on a dairy free base. So you can just mix in whatever with your favorite ice cream that you make out of the dairy free ice creams. We do not have time to answer all the questions. Yes, that's true. The book is $29.95 tomorrow for a very special launch special. If you order between 5 a.m. and 6 p.m. tomorrow, you will go into the draw for 3 $100 vouchers from Mad Creations, as well as 5 protein packs from Amino Z. They've kindly donated 5 packs, so you'll actually get your choice of 1 whey protein isolate, a flavor of choice, 3 sample packs, and the ultra shaker as well. So that was really nice. So yeah, lots of opportunities for you to win. So just order in that time frame. That's only just for the first 13 hours. I like odd numbers, don't I? And I'll announce that later in the evening tomorrow. So it'll be pretty crazy. Hopefully the website will hold up. I'm pretty sure it will. On saying that, I don't know how this book's going to go. This is a real left turn for me. I don't often do sweet books. We just kept getting asked to do one for Ninja Creamy. Obviously, I'm not going to write a book that's called Ninja Creamy and stuff like that. I'm respectful of people's trademarks as I am of my own. So we've kind of created a book that's for everybody and trying to be inclusive. But if you know people that love their creamies or love their Thermomix or love ice cream or whatever, please tell them to come and find an amazing book where a lot of effort's gone into creating recipes that will be used over and over and really, really enjoyed. And the one thing that I do with my recipes is I feel that I don't just write the same old bullshit that everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people just regurgitate over and over again. I try and give you new stuff, things that work, things that are tested. Our recipe testers have put these recipes through the mill. I can tell you, we've made changes and they've had to do it again. They've been testing right up till today. So it's been pretty crazy because, like I said, this was not a planned project for me for this year. So all of a sudden just dropped tools and let's do an ice cream book. But yeah, if you know anyone that loves ice cream, please let them, when you see my post, please share it. I would love to reach new people in that as well too. I think our recipes go well beyond the low carb keto niche. I just write really tasty food that just happens to be low carb. Okay. Very important when you order any books from anybody through Facebook. Use the link that gets emailed to you. Try not to use the sales one, and that as well too. Browsers that you're in, different browsers that you're in, can actually upset your downloads and stuff like that. So an email is forwarded to the email address that you've ordered with immediately. Okay, so if it's not in your inbox, let's just say in the first couple of minutes, then search your all mail, not your inbox, for the keywords The Scoop, and you'll probably find it in promotions or spam or somewhere like that. So and that's the same with from anyone online. So if you order online, it can just sometimes go to one of your other mailboxes because they're sent by an automated system. I don't sit here and go, ooh, Diana just ordered The Scoop. Send. It's automated, okay? And yeah, and then like I said earlier, we're making ice cream. It isn't hard. Well, it might be hard, but it can be melted, fixed, and redone again. So if you make something and it's too sweet or not sweet enough, remember you can add more to it. Like if it's not sweet enough, it's easy to add just a little bit of syrup or one of the fudge sauces and stuff like that. That'll sweeten it up. But in worst case scenario, if you think you've done something really wrong, then melt it down and just start again. But yeah, writing a post, I don't know what I did wrong. I can't help you. If you don't know what you did wrong, then I can't help you either. So I'll have a quick look at the questions. I'll just give you no, you've all seen the indexes and stuff like that. I don't need to tell you what's in it. So you can actually look at my post and see that there's pictures of the indexes. Normally when I do this, I haven't given any of that information out. But like I said, any of the ones that you see on the flavor or the saver with the modifiers, they can all be done on the vegan option ice creams, the dairy option ice creams, the egg-free option ice creams. So you can use all of those with something that will suit your dietary type if need be. Okay, so let me have a quick look and see if there's any questions I need to answer. The Scoop on The Scoop, that is correct. Bula from Fiji. Aloha, that's aloha, that's Hawaii, isn't it? Is the casein the same as protein powder or something else? No, it's something else. Okay, so you've got concentrate, you've got whey protein and whey protein isolate and casein. You want the casein. And if you're going to order some, like say I've got links in our Facebook group at the moment for Amino Z. Have a look at, there's a vanilla ice cream flavor one, which is a really good standpoint because you can actually use that instead of vanilla as well. So it's saving you money. And a little bit goes a long way. So let's just say in my standard ice creams, I normally, like you can see, I've got a few recipes on the website and that as well too, which are just for general ice cream makers and Thermomix. They might have a scoop of whey protein isolate. You can actually add half and half. But yeah, they're just totally different. Like if you're going to get that, I won't say that a lot of people actually always grab one from the supermarket and it's not a good protein powder. Invest in getting good ones. And once you do, because they're really good for you and that as well too. So they help boost your protein. So I'm obviously a fan of adding my protein in other ways than trying to eat so much food because I just physically can't eat that amount of food. I read a meal plan today for some other thing and I said I'd be in a food coma if I ate all that. Like it literally had a couple of shakes and 4 meals in one day, 7 days a week. I'm like, anyone that can eat like that must be working out because I can't fit all that in. I forgot the daylight savings. Okay, so I don't think, can you order a hard copy? No, it's only in the ebook, this one. So because it wasn't a planned book and everything like that, and it's over 100 pages, so we're talking about 108 pages, this one. To print it would be an expensive book, and I just didn't have the time. The extra work that goes into print media is quite considerable. We'd be adding at least a couple of months extra to the time frame. So no, it's not available in hard copy, but with our ebooks, I do allow you to print one copy, personal for yourself. There is no distribution or sharing of our books to anyone available as well. That's a copyright infringement. But yeah, you can print it off and use it that way if you like. Or just print the recipe that you're using on the day. It's so easy to use your devices these days. Even if I'm cooking in the kitchen when I'm actually testing the recipes, I've got my laptop sitting on the kitchen bench. Okay, so I think I can't see any more questions. So I'm going to jump off because I wanted to keep this short as possible. I'm already nearly at 30 minutes. So I hope you all love the book. It's got so many great recipes in it, and yeah, if you do love it, please come back onto our site tomorrow, leave a review, so the Google gods are kind to us in that as well, and everybody knows that we've got another great book out at Mad Creations. So thanks again, and I will talk to you all again soon.